And
Knowing
so
how to use channels is it.
it's a huge piece
All right.
of Photoshop. It's actually the most important
When you
part.
say channels, you mean color channels, right?
Well, there's a lot of different kinds of channels, but
Okay.
what we're talking about today is the color channels.
Okay.
So now what we're going to do is if we look at them, these are the different. This is where the red is. This is where the green is.
So there's
this is
3
where the
different
blue
tracks in
is.
every picture, a red, green, and blue track.
Or it can be lots of different things, but generally when you open an image, it'll be RGB.
And the full image is composed of those 3.
Exactly.
Okay.
And what they are is where it's white, there's a lot of blue. I mean, you know, in the blue section.
See, this doesn't look blue to me at all, but it's not supposed to be blue.
It's representing how much
level of
blue,
blue.
the
Okay.
level of blue in each,
So the
area.
whiter it is, the more blue.
And here
Got
you
it.
have the red.
Redder
which
it is, the more.
And white is a combination of all of it.
Got
so
it.
you'll get. That's why a bunch of them might be white
Right.
if it's really a white shirt.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to manipulate these, and so I'm going to copy this. I'm just dragging this down to the copy
channel?
to the new channel,
New
and it makes a copy of it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm going to grab the blue one and do the same thing.
Okay.
So now I have a copy of each one.
Yeah.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mix these 2 channels together.
Oh, you dog, you.
I got all kinds
What's
of
that
tricks.
going to do?
So I'm going to use this is the oldest, by the way. You know, we're going back into ancient Photoshop.
The good old days.
Back, back when I was
used
a
to
kid.
do channel chopping.
Exactly. And this is what this is called is calculations. This is actually how old, like the first digital composites were done, and that's what this came from. And what I can say is take the red copy and the blue copy and only lighten them. So what it's doing, if I turn the preview on and off, you see how his shirt gets brighter?
Yeah.
What we're trying to do is create a black and white image, one that represents where the kids are, where it's white,
Right.
and dark area in the outside where we don't want them. We want it to be black.
So will this only work if the background is darker than the foreground?
Or it has to be one way or the other.
But there has to be a difference in brightness and
Right.
luminance between the 2 different layers.
In this case,
Okay.
in one of the
In this
channels.
technique,
But
okay.
in any one of the channels.
Oh, all right.
Right, so you have lots of options.
So if there's if they're at a playground and there's a lot of a blue sky or something, then that you could use that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now what we'll do is we'll say, okay, and we've now made his shirt brighter, so we're getting closer to white. So we've gotten more white here than what it was before. Here's before and after.
All right, good. All right.
So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to build what we call a garbage mask, which this is just the polygon tool, and I'm just going to drag real
Just
quickly.
kind of the cruddiest thing you can do. It's
just getting rid of the
fancy.
garbage.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to be. You can be in a rush. You just kind of just grab stuff here.
All right.
And
So,
we're gonna.
so it's kind of a preliminary elimination of the background.
Exactly. You don't want to do any more work. The only thing that matters is the edges.
Got it.
Okay, so now I'm going to go up to select and go to inverse and just fill with black. And by clicking on, make sure the black's in the foreground. Now if I hit option and delete, it'll just fill it with black.
Good. We've gotten rid of it.
So now we're getting closer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my levels. Now levels, once again, adjust the black and white points. So I'm going to move, if I move my black point up, I now have less.
Oh, look, wait a minute, you already got an edge.
I started getting an edge
Look at
because
that.
now I've pushed some of that background, down.
So by brightening the kids, now you can say, well, I'm going to get rid of the stuff that's dark.
Right. So now I push the kids up a little bit and push the background down a little bit. Now there's a couple areas here that are still a problem.
But we did get an edge on a lot of it.
A lot of it.
Wow.
See, and we haven't done any cutting. We haven't used the lasso tool.
And
We
it's
haven't
pretty good
used,
edge, too.
Yeah. If we zoom in on it, it's actually.
You know what would be hard is
it's
her
actually
hair.
Really,
For instance, if you go up to the top where she's got hair, that's always the hardest thing in
that's
the
the
world.
hardest. And now we still got some of the background that's hidden in here. Now watch this.
Okay.
This is the big.
This is magic.
the key.
Here's where the
okay?
magic happens.
This is the burn tool. There's a dodge and burn. Okay, and what it'll do is I can say, make the shadows darker, but leave the highlights alone.
Okay.
So now watch what happens. If I just take this and just go like this, it's not affecting the hair.
Oh, you're right.
It's simply
Just
affecting the background.
So the lighter stuff is unmodified, just the
So I
darker
can,
stuff.
and so now you can kind of paint, but you can
But you don't have to do the little fiddly.
look. See, like
cutting.
I'm not trying to. I'm
Look
not
at
being
that.
very precise.
Look at that.
I'm just simply pushing this in.
Oh man!
And
Look
so,
at that.
So now, let me back up a
You
little
got a
bit.
good edge.
So now I have a pretty good edge, there. Now I need to bring the kids up, because they're still dark areas in the center.
want them to be bright
we want them to
white?
be all white.
Okay.
So now I just simply go to dodge,
You dodge the light stuff.
and I dodge the light stuff.
So you're eliminating the color.
Now
What we
watch.
really want to do is get just a cutout.
Right. Black and white cutout. Now I'm not going to do this the whole way
Okay.
through. But watch what happens when I go over the edge. Boom! It makes the highlight. But I'm
But it
not
doesn't
sitting there-
modify anything.
I don't have to sit there and go right along the edges.
Look at
I
how
can
her,
simply
her
just
hair is
just-
preserved, and that's the hardest thing. You
That's the
cannot
hardest
do
thing.
that.
See, so now I
Yeah.
can just simply just do this. Okay. So now if I do that
You'll
for a
get it
little
all.
while,
What's it going to look like when you get
it
it?
looks
all?
like that.
Okay, got it.
And it's just more scribbling
Right.
to do that. So now I'm going to load this mask as a selection. So I
Okay.
just dragged it,
To the selection.
just dragged it to make selection. And I'm going to go into my layers. And here, so now that selection has been loaded.
Now we're going to inverse it to get rid of the background, yeah?
Well, no, we're actually going to we're going to
cut that.
We're going to make a copy of the background
Okay.
and load it as a mask. So now it doesn't look like anything happened, but when I turn this on, so
Look at
this is that mat is attached now to
Right.
them, and I can still do more work on it if I need to because I've kept it separate.
Right.
So so that's the the next piece.
You could touch it up if you need to. And now you
Exactly.
can put anything else behind it.
Exactly. So if I drag it up here and I turn on the background,
There it is, San
you can see
Francisco.
San Francisco. I can add a little grain.
That's so great.
And that starts to, fit them right into the.
And you can put them anywhere. And once you've done that mask, you can put that picture in anything.
The key is, if you find a great photo, what you can do is
at
you
that.
can you do all the work on it to make it just right.
Yeah.
All the little edges are just right.
then that's your
And then you
template.
save it and you just drop them into wherever you go. And
I love it.
And so
It looks like they're at the top of the mark there.
it's
That's great, right on Nob Hill. If you want to Photoshop your photos this way, you can review his tip or any of Alex's past tips at our website, techtv.com/golfrelp. That's where